have the greatest job in the world, and that's working with dogs.
Best in Show winner is the French Bulldog.
Winston won the National Dog Show. It was amazing. It was exciting. And to have a dog to be #1 dog in this country, you have to have great nutrition. And I always fed ProPlan. Just like us, when we eat well, we feel good. And I just love that food and what it's done all these years to all the dogs I've bred and all the dogs I've shown.
Welcome to Pure Dog Talk. I am your host, Laura Reeves. And all right, you guys, it's a big one. I'm so excited. My friend, Valerie Nunes Atkinson, is joining us today. And if you happen to be living under a rock and have not heard, Valerie is the new voice of the Westminster Kennel Club. And I'm so proud and I'm so excited. And I'm really, really looking forward to our conversation today. So welcome, Val.
Thank you. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. All right. So let's start at the top. You've been on the podcast before, people know about you, but I think there's a couple things that are really interesting to note. First of all, I'm not even sure I knew that your degree was in journalism. Shout out.
Yes.
You went Best Junior at Westminster Kennel Club. You have won Best in Show at Westminster Kennel Club. You've been there, done that. You are, I think for many of us, the icon, the epitome of who we would like to be sharing our world with the general public. So
that's very kind.
No, I don't do kind. I do real. That's real. So what I want you to talk about first is what you're hoping to bring to it, what your knowledge, what your experience gives you the ability to talk about, and the ways that you can do that for people.
Well, I think, first of all, I'm super excited about the opportunity and being asked to kind of jump in the booth with both Chris and Jason. It's something so far not out of my comfort zone, but out of my comfort zone because it's live and you're dealing with 200 plus breeds and you have 20 seconds literally to talk about something.
Yep.
Or make a point about something.
Yep.
So I think one of the reasons why I've been brought in is because of some of the things that you mentioned, being a handler, having lived it and been there. So I'm hoping to bring the insight from that perspective, from the handler's perspective, the excitement of it, what goes on a little bit behind the scenes, but then also from a breeder perspective, having bred dogs that have done well there and bred dogs for decades. So, Jason also has been a breeder and a handler and a judge, but he's more from the judge's perspective and the historical importance of the breeds and details of the breeds. And I hope to bring a little bit of the other type of knowledge. And Chris is our fun guy that asks interesting questions. We did a run through up at Fox and it was interesting. It was fun. It was.
So what was your favorite? Like, what caught you off guard and what were you like, oh yeah, I got this?
In what way? What do you mean?
Working with the team, doing your run through, doing your practice.
Well, the run through was, you learn how to listen to someone in your ears and still talk. PT, the producer.
I'm here to tell you that is hell. That is some kind of hell.
It's something. I will say it's something to get used to.
Yeah.
So they're talking in your ear and they're counting you down. So literally we have about 20 seconds after the announcer gives all the breed details on that particular breed to make a point about something and keep it somewhat interesting. But 20 seconds is a long time, but it's really not a long time. So to be concise and, get your message across and be done before he starts going into the next breed. So they're counting you down as you're talking and trying to make your point in these 20 seconds. And you have to be done by the time they get to one. Otherwise, someone might be screaming in your ear. So learning that and learning how to go back and forth between the three of us and
Hmm.
not step on each other,
Yes.
so that you're not talking over the other person.
Hmm.
So there's, a huge learning curve. And we'll see. My dad always told me that if you're not doing something that, because, it basically scares the what out of me to be doing this. And I really considered not doing it. But he said, and this was before he passed, he said, if you're not doing something that is scary and challenges you and really scares you, you're not growing. So, you've got to live your life. You've got to push yourself and, reach for other goals. And so
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
You,
I'm going to do
your
it.
dad is absolutely right, and you know it. You tell your students this when you teach handling classes. It isn't any different, right? You've got to
Yes.
do stuff that
Yes.
scares you. Trust me. You know how hard it
Yes.
was for me when Mary said, "And you have to do this podcast." I'm like, "No, no, I don't."
Yeah. 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 I mean, we need to look at other ways to bring people outside of our sport in, and that's where I think, through this broadcast and through
Mhm.
Jason and Chris, I mean, we
Mhm.
hope to, give breed details. We hope to give breed information to the general public that'll be
Yes.
interesting, and that maybe allows them to think about other breeds, and hopefully maybe even learn how to find a preservation breeder, so that we can really up our game within our sport and provide a service to everybody else outside of our sport.
Yes.
So
And for me,
we'll see
this
what we
is
can do.
I and there I just stepped on you. I
No, go for
um
it.
I think one of the most powerful pieces of the Westminster Kennel Club broadcast, right? And one of the things that I believe you will bring to it, and that I know Jason already brings to it, is that desire to reach what I always refer to as John Q. Public, the average person out there who watches Westminster Kennel Club. They may not know anything else about any other dog show in the world, but they watch Westminster, right? And so that is such an incredibly important and powerful space that I don't think there's much more that you can do that has more impact than something like this.
Right, right. And I think being able to, for my role, step in and maybe tell some, some little tidbits of stories or experiences that I've had that might bring other people in to say, hey, maybe I could try that, or that sounds fun, or maybe they don't even know about things we're talking about, like the agility trial that's going to
Mhm.
be there as well. There's other sports within AKC that the general public can do with their dogs, which is very exciting. And I think it's a way to bring everybody else, the general public, into
Yep.
seeing what else you can do with your dogs,
I
because
mean,
dogs
trick dog
enrich our
and fetch.
lives.
Trick dog and
Yes.
fetch,
Yes.
right? There,
Yeah.
there just there are just so many ways and directions. So that's very, very cool. So talk to us a little bit. You said you were scared. You said you thought about not doing it, but then you did it. So I want you to put this in perspective, okay, for your whole history at the garden. You've been coming to Westminster Kennel Club for almost 40 years.
Oh my God. Yes. Over 40 years. Yes.
Not to throw you under the bus or anything, babe, but we're about the same age. So
Yes. 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 Yes.
put this in the
Exactly.
grand scheme of it, from winning with CJ, your heart dog, to starting out as a best junior to now this. Like, this is an arc that I think is really, really important for people to comprehend and understand what it means to you.
Well, I mean, it's so sentimental on so many levels, and I don't want to like get a lump in my throat right now.
I know.
Um,
You can
but
cry on
I
my show.
can,
You can't cry on national TV.
I know. I can remember going to, in fact, actually, I found a photo album that was at my dad's that my dad recently passed away. And
Mhm.
so that I found this photo album, and it was an album that my mom had made when I went to Westminster for my very first time as the junior handler. And yeah, and it's, I mean, the pictures, you know, and with my mom, and we're in New York, and we actually, I was showing a dog from my dad's very first litter. I believe she was the very first litter of short hairs that he bred.
Mhm.
And so I can remember walking in the garden, you know, I
Mhm.
remember that. And every year after that, I think for me, I've actually written a story about it a while ago. Going up that exhibitor's elevator and walking down that hallway, you know it.
Mhm.
Um, is exciting, and the smell and the sound and everything that that brings when you walk down that corridor, and you used to walk into what was, you
Right.
know, benching and grooming
Mhm.
areas,
Mhm.
um, is it's everything. It's what we all live for. And then to have, you know, to go back, you know, I went almost every year through my junior career, and then
Mhm.
winning it my last year, you know, that was everything then. But to see how it's brought me not only a life and success, but it's brought me a career that I'm so passionate about and so grateful to have. I mean, to say that we make our living with dogs and, you know, in this game of, you know, a dog sport is, it's amazing. I mean, yes, I went to school, I got a degree, I did that for
Yep.
6 years, you know, but this was always my passion. And again, I went to my stepfather over this because, you know, they were the ones that helped pay for my college. I said, you know, my degree is not going to a waste, but this is what I want to do. This is my passion. And thankfully, my parents were totally on board, and they said, if you do this and you know, it's truly your calling, you'll never go to work a day in your life. So to have that help me move forward through the years and the decades, and then have the success at Westminster is, I mean, we all dream about it, and you know, you can never expect it, because we also know that anything happens there, anything can happen, you know. um
100%.
Absolutely, you know. So, I mean, the year Carly went Best in
Mhm.
Show, you know, with Michelle Scott
Yep.
was, you know, when the group was going, Paula was judging it,
Mhm.
and I was back in the hotel room. You know, I mean, she had had a great career, and you know, you know, as dogs' careers go, they
Yep.
start out, they start to
Yep.
peak, and then they start to go down, and then they end their career and they retire. So I knew this was going to be her last, you know, her last garden. um I didn't really think one way or the other if she was going to win that group. You know, I was at the hotel, so when she won that group and I went, I'm like, oh my god, I've got to get over to the garden to
Right.
see this, you know.
Right.
Yeah. And I remember standing with Amy Rodriguez,
Mhm.
Comer now,
Yeah.
um in the tunnel. You know how you could
Mhm.
stand in the
Yep.
tunnel and look up
Yep.
and watch the, yeah.
Yep.
So I was standing there, and then she hits that free stack, and Amy hits me in the shoulder and basically says, "You're going Best in Show." And I'm like, no, she's not going Best in Show, you know. So that was super
Mhm.
exciting. But
Mhm.
then to keep going on, and, you know, my breeding program has done well through the years. And then to have CJ and have it be a dog that I bred, owned, and handled all the way through. I mean, it just takes it to the next level, you know. So super exciting. And then Jade, you
Yeah.
know,
Right.
after, you know, winning the group there. And
Yep.
then Lucy also obviously won the group
Yeah.
there too.
Yeah.
So
Borzoi.
I've had some great success. Yeah, Lucy the Borzoi. So I've had some great success. And to say that it's my favorite show, well, yes, it is. I think it is for a lot of people, but it's super sentimental to me, and I'm honored to kind of take this next step and, you know, go forward and hopefully be able to give back, you know, like I do with my handling seminars too. You know, I try to really encourage the newbies and help them be able to feel comfortable and step up to the plate and feel like they can compete with the professionals. They can be competitive at a specialty or a national or Westminster.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's kind of the whole shebang in one, and it's just yeah, it's a full circle moment for
It
sure.
is. It is totally full circle.
Truepanion is revolutionizing medical insurance for pets by providing the best possible experience to our members. And it's not some space-age dream. It's happening now. We pay your veterinarian directly while you're checking out, and we're the only ones who can, which means you have decisions in seconds, and you don't have to wait for reimbursement. So unlike with other providers, you'll keep more money in your pocket. Ask your veterinarian if Truepanion can pay them directly, because there's pet insurance, and then there's Truepanion.
So, okay, now you may actually shoot me for this one, but I'm gonna go there.
That row. I'm
So when you're
afraid.
talking to your handling students and you're saying anything can happen, do you ever tell them about your most embarrassing moment at Westminster Kennel Club?
Absolutely. And I tell them nobody ever can ever top that. I don't know. Have you ever heard of one that's worse?
I will tell you a
Thankfully.
story. I was showing a clumber the year, like that following year, like I'd seen it, like I'd watched. So what we're talking about for listeners land, Valerie had a short hair pointer. Was it Carly or was it a different short hair?
It was Becky.
Becky. Okay.
It was,
I couldn't remember.
yeah.
I knew it was in that time. Anyway, the dog had diarrhea on national television all over the carpet at Westminster Kennel Club. And literally the following
Right in front of Maxine Beam at the end of the down and back when I should be doing a free stack in front of Miss Beam.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And so that following January, I was at the show in Portland with the old Best in Show clumber. You remember Charlie? And he had
Yes.
somehow gotten a hold of liver, to which he was violently allergic.
Oh no. Oh no.
And I came back to the crates just in time to get him ready for the group that was, coming, like groups had started, right? And he's green. He is covered in,
Oh no.
I mean, covered, the crate, him, everything. So I'm like, breathing in a paper bag. It was when it was on Animal Planet. This is back in TV days.
Oh yeah.
Portland,
Yeah.
right? And so somehow my mom, my assistant, all the people got the dog bathed and sort of dry, and we made it into the group ring. And all I could think was, please God, don't pull a Valerie.
Oh God, yes. I know.
I swear it was the only thing I could think about through the entire group.
Yes, I know. Oh my God.
We survived. I'm going to say we survived.
It's humbling. We survived,
Yeah.
yes. And
Yeah.
it's very humbling moment. And I tell my students all the time that, we all do things that, we would be embarrassed about. We fall, we trip, a variety of things.
Flung
Have
my shoe
accidents,
once.
in the rings. Yeah. Oh, run around. Yeah. Barefoot. It's all in the big scheme of things. It's really nothing. So
it doesn't matter.
yeah. Let's hope that we don't have any of those moments this year, though.
No,
I don't wish that on anyone.
Nobody.
My good friend Andy Linton, after
Yes.
that happened, so cute little Maxine Beam, God rest her soul.
God rest her soul.
Yes, I loved that woman. And so as I'm sitting there like this, shaking my head, and Becky's trying to finish, I do my go around and I go to back to my box, and I look straight across. So short hairs is straight across from the Weimaraner box.
Wow.
And he was in there with a Weimaraner, and I look at him and he's just shaking his head like this, looking at me. And I'm like, thanks, Andy. You're so kind.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
Yeah, good friend you
way
are.
Way to have my back on that, man.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I think I had gotten back, back then we had, ice chest, we had our whole setup there at the garden.
Yeah.
So I had borrowed some liver from, I think it was Dougie Holloway actually. And
I'm going to remember that, Dougie.
Yes. And I think, it's at the end of the weekend, it had probably sat in that cooler. Maybe the ice had or had not been in there all weekend. I don't know, but I kind of think maybe that's what did it there.
I can attest to the fact that liver, some dogs are allergic and sometimes it goes bad. So
yes, exactly.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So lots of cool background, lots of cool history. Tell us about the future.
I mean, not much is going to change. I'm still
Okay.
going to show dogs. I'm not showing, that is one of the questions. Everybody's been privately messaging, are you not showing Phoenix? Are you not showing dogs? No, I'm not showing Phoenix. He is entered. He will not be there. And one of the reasons why I did choose to accept this year was our national specialty is the exact same week.
Yes.
And so as a breeder, the national is the most important show for our breed. And so I think it's important that, him being a top dog goes there. And so I'm so grateful to have Antonio,
Yes.
Vidmar as my assistant, and he's shown him to best in shows himself already. So he's in very competent hands, and he will be going to the national with Antonio. So
Very
it
good.
works out perfect. Other things in the future, I have been working on a handling seminar
Mhm.
video type website that's going to offer some instructional stuff. We've been working on this for over a year, and we are within a week or so of releasing it. So
Oh my
I'm
gosh, we're
really super
breaking news
excited
on
about
Pure Dog
this.
Talk again. I love it when that happens.
It is. It is. It is. Yeah. So, it's been an ongoing effort,
Mhm.
and something we're really proud of. And we will get to the actual hands-on instruction, but it's a lot about the strategy of dog shows, the
Yeah.
strategy of showing. It's talking about basic foundations and getting into some advanced skills as well. So,
Mhm.
I'm excited about it. It's many, many hours. There's two-part series to it, and I hope again it can go out. It's getting translated in I don't know how many different
I
languages,
love
a
it.
lot.
I love it.
And so I'm hoping it can get out there and again help people get into and be able to enjoy our sport and have success and have fun, because that's really what it's about.
So you and I have actually talked about this before, but I want you to carry on about this a little bit for me. There seems to be this generation of us, you and I and Allison and Amy and us, right? This group of us that has taken to doing this sort of education, right? And putting it out into the world that we didn't see a lot of prior to this. And
Right.
I mean, I've personally gone, and Vicky Ronchetti, another one, promoted everybody, right? As much
Mm-hmm.
as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know,
Yes.
find your thing. Lee Whittier,
Fine.
another one,
Yeah.
right? There's just this group of us women that are all within 10 years of each other that are doing
Yeah.
this work. And so talk to me about why you think that is. And I personally am a huge advocate for collaboration, not competition. That's always been my thing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That is something I feel really strongly about, and it's really tough for those of us that are professional dog handlers to say, "Oh no, I don't want to beat you. I want to help you." Right? But I think
Yeah.
that is part of what we're doing in this moment. And so talk a little bit
Right.
about that.
Well, I think you're correct, and I think that there is more than enough space to be able to help everyone
Right?
and still get in there and compete and win. But I think we're only stronger both within our sport and within the general public by helping one another and not tearing, as we've seen in the last since the beginning of this year, it's been a rough year. There's been a lot of things that unfortunately haven't put our sport in the best light. And so I think being able to kind of turn a blind eye to that for at the moment and try to work on bringing our sport back some, I don't know, just people that are willing to help and engage with one another and truly care about
Yeah.
helping someone be better. I just had a junior reach out, and they're like, I can't afford a puppy. I want to short her as a junior puppy, as a junior dog. I mean, I think it's our responsibility to be able to step up. Us that are in maybe this age limit that you talk about, this generation, that, we've had success and we can give back, we can help. And there's a variety of ways. There's lots of people that do it. It's not just the ones that
No,
you've mentioned.
no.
But I think we all find, I love teaching, I love it. And I think I'm decent at it, and how to explain things and how to get people to have that aha moment. And so for me, the teaching part is really something I enjoy, and I can see as my body gets older and I get more decrepit,
Trust me on this, honey.
I can see taking this, to a different level. And it's something I really enjoy. Right now, I get requests to do the seminars all over the country and the world, but it's just not feasible when I have clients that I'm still campaigning dogs
Right.
for and have a responsibility to them. So I try to find a balance and get in a couple every now and then. I had a really good one actually at my own
Yeah,
facility.
I saw.
Yeah, a few weeks ago, and we
Yeah.
had 35 people there. I mean,
Perfect.
it was really good. And so, and I think people walk away from it really, I try not to blow their mind, because I get so excited that I feel like sometimes, probably to my detriment, I give too much information. But I always tell them, just remember 2 or 3 things. If you walk out of this and implement 2 or 3 things that you remember, you're going to be that much better. And it's always so great when you get the text messages and the phone calls and the pictures of, hey, I went to your
Yes.
seminar and look at what I just did, and it's
Yes.
something new for them. They've stepped up to the next level. So I think we're all better for all of us helping and reaching out a hand, and, giving a quality puppy to someone. I had someone else from another country ask actually to breed to one of my dogs. And, I had to have a very difficult conversation with someone that I didn't know really well. And I didn't know her at all, actually, before we started talking. But there wasn't the quality that needed to be there to not every dog needs to be bred. So how do you step on someone's toes, basically, is what I felt like I was doing. And here, she didn't ask for my opinion on her dog, but I had to tell her why I didn't think my dog was the right dog for her. And so I was really encouraging her to, kind of going back to Pat Trotter's book, like, go out and find the best dog that you can find and start 5 generations higher in quality and breed from there, because you're going to be, trying to breed your bitch. And I said, no doubt, she looks like, I mean, they sent me field videos of her and everything. She looks to be a quality bitch. She's beautiful, but structurally, she has some issues. So, you know, trying to find a way to encourage
Yes.
and keep them interested, because and it was a really interesting person, because she breeds fish for a living, so she knows about breeding and stuff. So
Okay.
it's kind of
Okay.
interesting. Yeah. But I said, take that knowledge and see what you can do with, finding something. You'll have success sooner and quicker by starting with just a better quality dog. Take this one, love it in the show it in the field, field trial it, whatever you do, enjoy it as a family companion. But if you want to breed, it's expensive, it's time consuming. There's a lot of work that goes into the litters. In case you haven't heard the litter of puppies that's right behind me here right now, we have a litter of whippet puppies.
I was
They're
just
not
gonna
short
say, is
hairs.
it
So,
whippets? I
yeah.
think it's the whippet litter,
Yes.
isn't it?
It's whippets, yeah. And they're, getting to the age where they're little hellions too.
Well,
So,
that's the perfect
um,
age. I love them then.
absolutely, yeah. Especially whippets, because they're not the most cute babies. Younger, yeah. They start looking like whippets about 5 and 6 weeks. So,
Right.
anyway, but yeah, I think we kind of all owe it to each other in our sport to kind of band together and help each other as much as we can, and bring in other people within our sport. Our sport needs it. We need people that want to come in and not only show dogs but breed dogs.
Yes.
We need
Yes.
breeders. I think we've really split.
Desperately, desperately agree with
I
that.
think our
That's
sport has split, and we have people that enjoy it as a family sport, and they'll buy their next dog and they'll buy the next one after that. We don't have breeders that are coming up. We do, but just not as many as I
not as
think we
many.
truly need, you
And
know.
that's, for me, like we were saying, everybody has their niche. Mine seems to have fallen into being the support the breeding community. And
Right.
when I have people that come to me and say, I'm at this dog show because of you, when Pure Dog Talk, or
Right.
I am on my third litter of otter hounds because of you and Pure Dog Talk. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
heavens, right?
Especially those rare breeds.
Right,
Oh my God.
exactly.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so to me, that is where I wanted to spin this a little bit from what you were saying, is that every one of us has a voice. All the way through the ones I mentioned, the ones I didn't mention. You've got Norma, you've got Greg, you've
Right.
got all these people doing all kinds of different things. And each one of us is able to reach a different audience. Maybe it's our voice, maybe it's our topics, maybe it's our whatever. It
Right.
doesn't matter as long as we're all reaching out to the community.
Right, absolutely. And I think that's a great point too, because I think even doing different seminars with different people, you are going to learn
Yes.
different things. And some may speak to you more than another,
Mhm.
or you may have that aha moment with this person because they said it a little differently or brought something else that's
Mhm.
different to the table.
Right.
So, we can never stop learning. I mean, I think the people that have had long-term success in our sport, whether they be as a breeder, a handler, a judge, you're forever learning. With this position, I was going back and doing breed research, and I'll have to tell you this quick little story. So I was freaking out yesterday because I just flew home from the World Show in
Right.
Croatia, which was very cool because they have so many breeds that are, they're FCI, it's not AKC recognized. And so I'm like, what's that? What's that? And what do they do? It's always a student, like so
Right.
interesting trying to find out about these new breeds. But I don't know what I did. So being a good student, I took my AKC standards book with me because I'm trying to bone up on all the breeds that I don't, show, handle, and know huge in-depth amount of information about. So, um, but and it has all my notes in it, everything that, guess what? I don't quite know. I took it out of my bag, out of my carry-on, and I put it on the seat next to me before I went on the plane. And my intention was to put it in my purse. I honestly don't know if I did that or not. It either got left in Amsterdam
Right.
or it got left on the plane and it slid underneath the seat that, like, I took it out so I would have it there,
Oh my
and
gosh.
it's gone. It's
Oh.
gone. So yeah. So I wrote to Jason yesterday and said, oh my God, all my notes are gone. Like, help, 911, I need help. So he's going to be sending me his, and then I thankfully Tim Thomas stepped up. I sent him an email and said, because you go on the AKC shop to get, another
Yeah.
book, and it's
Yeah.
2 to 3 weeks. Well,
Yeah.
I don't have that time. So
I know.
I said, I need this like now. Can you help me? Yeah.
You know what
So
I will
one's
do?
going out today. I'll have it.
I will send you. I did
Yes.
commentary for Chicago last year, and I had little notes that I had
Okay.
written about a whole bunch of breeds. I'll shoot you that too.
Oh, that would be great. That
Yeah.
would be fabulous.
Whether it's of
Anything
use or
that I
not,
can.
then at least it's
Yeah.
something. Right.
Well, yes, exactly. And that's what's interesting too about the broadcast is, remember the 20 seconds that I told you about,
Right.
and you'll be familiar having done that,
Yes.
is it's such a short amount of time. And I know people, we all fill out the cards when you win. And I know everybody loves to have a shout out or something spoken about their dogs. Um, but you don't always have that time. And it's not it's not meant to be a promotion on every single dog. So we have to, mix it. I mean, there will be some information that comes from some of the cards, but
Yeah.
um it's not just, strict, like adversement for each dog.
Right.
So,
Right.
don't be upset. There's a lot of other things we need to talk about. Again, we have the general public that's involved, and we
Mhm.
have to keep them entertained and hopefully interested. So
Very
that's
cool.
what we'll be attempting to do.
You are going to do amazing. I'm super excited. I will see you there with bells on.
Excellent.
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 And
Yes.
thanks, Val.
Absolutely. That's the word I can't say. I found out in that run through at Fox that I say absolutely a lot. So I need to get that out of my head. Yeah. So excellent's good. Yeah.
Mine is, Mary used to give me all kinds of grief about this. Mine is super. I am super excited. So to the point that it's gotten to be a joke, and now I just use it.
Yes.
I just run with it. I am
Yeah. You just go
super
with it.
excited.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. All
Oh my
good.
God. All right. Well,
Yeah.
Val, thank you so much.
You're
We'll be seeing
welcome.
you soon.
Thank you. All right. Thank you so much. Take care.